Hello everybody and welcome back to Keep It Real episode 49 now. 49. One more episode. Longest running series. There we go. Right. So this episode is all about making money. Because right at the end of the last episode, I did kind of briefly go over it, but there is a field. There is a field which is just too good to miss, isn't it? Now the price has gone up a tiny little bit as well, so I'm kind of concerned that if we don't make the most of it, it isn't going to be that great. So I'm pretty sure it was 64% discount. Today it's 62 there. So it has gone up just a small amount, not much at all. But if the trend is kind of getting more expensive, I need to do it, and I need to do it fast. Now, we aren't actually that far away from affording that field already. 17,980 is what we have currently. So yeah, I need to get that field before it changes. Hopefully it doesn't suddenly change its discount rate in this episode. That would be a little bit annoying. Now, I visited the pub, pre-booked in some contract work, which is actually pretty well paying, you know, because we're not going to have a deduction for borrowing equipment. So we're just going to get straight onto that. Now, I know where the first one is. In fact, let's jump into that map view again. So I know the first one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is that one. So this is one of the ones we did kind of originally, I believe. Yeah, I'm sure it is, because we also did this one as well, didn't we? I'm not sure, I'm doubting myself now, to be honest. But anyway, where on earth is the other field? I think it was field 18, which you would assume is here. Am I looking right at it? Is it flashing? Is it flashing me in the face? That doesn't happen very often. Where is it? Where on earth is number 18? There we go. It's right there. Look, I couldn't see it because it's kind of hidden in white. So that again, that's probably not too big at all. That's going to be quite easy to do with this spreader. So we'll head down, which is kind of, they're both the same, aren't they? None of them's closer really. So we'll just head down and get the bigger one done out the way. See how much fertilizer we're actually left with. Maybe we can get them both done with the same thing. Although there was a little bit left at the shop actually, if I remember. There was a little bit left. Now, I suppose I better do the usual, skip through a day and make sure that these guys are doing alright. So 978 litres of food, so no issues with the ducks. And I just wonder, have we got ducklings? So we have got duck. All that we have now is 6 remaining ducklings. The rest of them are fully grown, not fully grown, but certainly producing eggs anyway. So that's fantastic. I'm just curious, what's our oldest? Our oldest ducks at the moment seem to be 12 months, so I'm guessing maybe some died and then they were replaced with new ones. It's great to see that they've all turned out to be female now though, so at least we're not wasting food. Now, I have turned off, if I go into, I know the trigger is here somewhere. There we go. There is an option where you can allow overcrowding, but I did turn that off because I don't want to do that. I'm assuming it will just mean more die. So we now have 47 out of 47 animals in there, and they are all females. Now, did this figure change overnight? Yeah, look at that, 263 eggs now. Wow, that now that they are grown, that is really starting to go up quite quickly, and I'm glad, because I was getting a bit frustrated by that initially, by how fast it was producing eggs. Now we're just checking with these guys as well. Still the same amount in here. We've still got the little calf. They don't look like they got much straw, but they have. Now let's just jump into this menu again. So yeah, food though. I mean, 5,700. That's probably only going to get us through the next 2 or 3 episodes maybe. But straw, they've got 7,324. It's almost full. It's 3/4 of the way. Yeah, it doesn't actually look like they've got any at all in the animation. But there you go. Cool. Right. So they are also doing pretty good. How much milk? Wow, 1,361 litres of milk. I think we might need to sell that soon, you know. Because, yeah, I can't remember what the capacity is of this, but it isn't a great deal. So yeah, maybe we need to sell some milk. That's good, there's a little bit more money coming in here. In fact, can we even get this field without even doing these contracts? I wonder. Probably not, being optimistic maybe. So they go for, okay, wrong price. But even with what we've got there now, that's you know, it's a good £700 of eggs, maybe, at a complete guess. What was I looking for? Milk. I better just gone past the milk, haven't I? Yeah, I did. Right next to eggs, typical. So 1,380. Okay. What month are we in at the minute? It's funny, it's not really gone down a great deal, is it? Considering we're in one of the worst months. Doesn't fluctuate by a huge amount of milk. No. So there's £1,500 of milk there, maybe. It's not worth doing. We don't need it for a minute. We'll let it build up for another episode. I did off screen, by the way, test this, and it does absolutely work with the manure system, and it is actually really cool. So we're going to have to keep our eye open for a slurry tanker, which does also work with the manure system, and then we'll have to buy the extra hoses, attach it. You've got to manually open these valves individually. You've got to get in the tractor and turn the pump on. It's just great from that kind of realism point of view. I'm looking forward to that. This actually, rather than fertilizing fields, is probably going to be fertilizing various different like vineyards, vineyards, not orchards. Making up a third name for it now. So the vineyards and the olive tree will take the manure, as well as obviously our joint tomato production that we've got going on. I did have a think. Thanks for some of the comments. I think 50-50 is going to be too much. It almost makes it not worth the time. In actual fact, we are doing all the hard work, and if you kind of treat it as we're renting the building, which was already there, I think maybe 75 or 80 split, so we get 75% and we'll give them 25%. Maybe that seems a bit better. Keep it at quarter, it's a bit easier to work out off the top of your head, but something like that, certainly. I'm not going to go back and change what I did yesterday. That is what it is. It was a learning curve, but I think the next batch we do, we'll only give them 20 or 25% of what we make. Right, anyway, enough chatting. We're going to get straight into it. It's already nearly 10 AM game time, so we are wasting time. I've just realised it's at ×5. Let me change that real quick. There we go. Not that I want it to go fast, but that was the kind of original stipulation. Right. And also, when we get to the field, I must remember I'm going to have to open the helper menu, or the help menu, I should say, and just adjust the setting. It was in the comments quite a while ago when I did the last contract fertilizing, where it was using too much, and I was advised how I can make that a bit more realistic. So I'll have to fiddle with that when we get there. Okay, here we are at the field. I don't know if this is the one we did before, actually. I'm not sure. Right, anyway, let's go into, so, F1, open up this menu. So, what have we got? Change nitrogen reference value, is that the one I want to do? What does that do? Absolutely nothing, I believe. I wonder if it will change when I get into the field. Something is changing. Right. It's not doing anything. Deactivate the automatic application rate. That might make a difference. And change the application rate. Right. Let's have a look. Okay, right. I think it's on the lowest anyway. I think it is. Now let's try and space ourselves out a little bit, because we know this is a pretty wide spreader. And then we'll get going. Hopefully it doesn't go down too fast. Right. Why is it not working? Come on, have I not activated the... Oh, okay. Do you know, I'm sure I leave these connected when I log off, but they sometimes seem to disconnect themselves. Right, is it going to work? There we go. It's still going down quite fast, you know. But actually, yeah, it's better. Nowhere near compared to what it was last time. I remember. By now, I was almost at a point where I had to go back to the shop and get more. Yeah, that's better. Right, I'm not going to time-lapse this because I just don't think it's going to take that long, but I'm just going to keep on chatting in the meantime. So, I've kept my eyes open in the meantime for a better vehicle. And we're going to go, I think, it's going to be driven by what's in the shop, of course, as always. But we're going to go with some form of kind of van or a truck or something like that. But an older one. A cheaper one, an older one. But something, I think, maybe with a flatbed. I don't want to go pickup truck. We've been there, we've done that. Do that in a lot of series anyway. But yeah, Something with like a flatbed, I think would work quite well. Now, I'm also at a point, you know, where I think, especially if we do buy another field, I might need to start utilising the helpers. The AI helpers, of course, because I've made so many mod adaptations, it's just easier to stick with AI on this one now, rather than trying to get people to join in and help on this particular series. But I'm thinking maybe I need to set some sort of role. I've not considered it too much until now, because I've not been in that position, but I'm just thinking something simple, like maybe just one helper. I can only employ one helper, so I can't have multiple helpers doing everything. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll roleplay we're employing Terry or something. But yeah, just the one helper at a time. But I do think it's reasonable that I can kind of set them to drive whichever vehicle they're planning on using to the field as well. So that's fine. But what I'm thinking is I will only hire the helper if I'm at the piece of equipment that I want them to use. So again, it doesn't make much difference, probably not really, but yeah, I think just adds a little element to it. So I have to be at the vehicle that I want a helper to use, and then I can go into the menu and I can kind of set where they're going to go or what job they're going to be doing. But just working entirely off of the game's AI helper system. No course play or auto drive or anything like that. Now, we are at, well, less than 400 litres now. I don't know if this is enough to do this. Fortunately, we got this fertilizer cheap, didn't we? We got it on kind of clearance price, reduced to sell. It's probably out of date or something, but that doesn't matter, does it? It's not our field. That's not our problem. I did also notice in editing, I didn't pay too much attention to it when I was actually doing the recording, but in the editing, I noticed there were quite, well, I said quite a few. There was at least one bargain in the used shop that I didn't even kind of look at properly, to be honest with you, but hopefully it's still there. We're going to have to check that out. Ooh, nearly rolled the agri. Yeah, we're going to have to check that out at some point, because it was a cedar and it was pretty cheap. And given that we're at a point where we almost need to have a cedar, it makes sense to kind of buy one cheap rather than lease all the time, because especially if we get this additional field, we are going to need our own cedar. That's kind of a basic bit of equipment really you need. Now, it's not going to help us with doing potatoes, if that's what I decide to do down at that bottom plot, but it's certainly going to help with everything else, definitely. So we'll check that out in a minute. I'm just hoping that I have got enough fertilizer here to finish this field, because that would be annoying if I have to drive back to the shop to do this last little bit. So come on, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Oh dear, it's not looking good though. It's not looking good. Right, brilliant. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back to the shop, aren't I think. Can I check the menu? Can I check on here to see whether or not we've completed the contract? That's reasonable, isn't it? Right, it's only 91%. So yeah, we are gonna have to go back to the shop. Hopefully there is enough left on that pallet. Did I have any fertilizer left back at the yard? No, I don't think I did I? Right. We can just drive across the field, it doesn't matter. It's not got anything planted in it currently anyway. Right, let's head on back to the shop. While we're at the shop, we'll have a quick look at the used section as well, and just find out, well, if the seed is there for a start, and hopefully there's been a few more bargains appear in the meantime as well. Maybe even the truck that I've seen that I really want has appeared in use. That would be quite handy. Normally if I say these things out loud, they appear in the shop. Fingers crossed. Okay, let's see what they got for us today, shall we? Let's put up here at an angle so we're not blocking too much traffic. Right, let's have a look. So in the used shop, yeah, this is it. This is what I seen in the editing, and I'll tell you what, we were close because that's almost gone. In fact, if I leave that any longer, that will be gone. So I might just have to bite the bullet currently and just buy that, even though we're trying to save up for the field. I don't want to miss out on that, £2,373. It would be our very own seeder to use as we will, and we are going to be needing it. We are definitely going to be needing it. Now, let's just have a quick look here as well. The capacity. It's got a good. We'll bear that in mind for the future. I'm not buying it now. It's extra money. Wheel setup, not worried. Decals, nah. Right, I think I just need to get that. So let's just buy it. Because we can't miss out on that. What else is in here while we're at it? These were here. Oh, was that there last time? That might have been. So there is some form of mulcher that does look like a 3-point linkage, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. So can I connect that to the back of one of the tractors? Okay, I'm not going to buy it, it's a lot of money, but that's a potential that we could lease because we have got quite a lot of stumps now we need to get rid of. That was interesting, that wasn't on there yesterday. Not got very good horsepower though, it's pointless. What's its top speed? 19 here. If I'm going to buy a tractor, I feel like I need to get one with a better top speed. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Right, anything else new? What's that? Fertilizers. We don't need one of those, do we? Okay. Right. Now, I did just brush past that. £1,078. Wow. I wasn't even looking at the price. So what's that got on it? A width, 8 meter width. That's pretty good as well. It's double the width of anything else we've got. To be honest, I'm kind of thinking 1,078. I need that as well. Again, I know I'm saving up for this field, but you know, we need that. We need that for weeds. I'm going to get that as well. A little bit of an unexpected spending spree, I think, but we needed it. We did need it. Now, right, why am I here? I've got a little bit of fertilizer, haven't I? It's not much though. It's probably only 100 litres. Let's go back in here. Can I buy just a couple of bags of fertilizer as well? Must be here somewhere. Fertilizer bag. There we go. So 100. Do you know? I always thought that I had 50 litres for £50. That's cheaper than how I remember it. Right, let's buy 2. Let's play it safe. We'll get 3 bags of that. Right, let's go back into the agri. We'll chuck those bags in. The bags that I've just bought individually, I will lift and put in properly. It's only the stuff on pallets I'm a bit stuck with. It does make me wonder as well, maybe we're at a point where we do put a shop forklift in, just to keep that realism. I'd rather have lifted a whole pallet up in the air than just kind of pull up next to it and, well, use some magic to throw the fertilizer in, like we are going to have to do in a minute. Right, so we'll chuck those bags in first. There's a little bit more left than I thought. Oh yeah, it's only 100 litres. Yeah, so there's 300 litres here in these bags. Okay. They don't actually animate the stuff pouring out, do they? No, they just disappear, but that's fine. And then this one, is that still too heavy to pick up? So I'll have to just, yeah, jump in the tractor and let it do that for us. These are pretty cool, aren't they? Bit old, bit beaten up. It's very, very similar to what I use in the roleplay story mode, actually. But this looks like a fixed one rather than a trailing one. And that's pretty good. I don't know if that's base game or that's just one of the many, many mods I activated to try and make this series as realistic as possible. It could well be a mod, I'm not sure. Right, we'll jump in this view. Yeah, so for this exact reason I'm wondering, do I put a forklift in, a shop forklift, because I don't like doing stuff like that. Right, 400 litres. Is that going to do the additional field as well as the rest of this one? I reckon so. I think it would. Soon find out. Right, back of the field. This should not take very long. Oh, I should have took that a bit slower. I felt the wheels lift. Right, yeah, this won't take very long at all, will it? I hope not, anyway. And it shouldn't use very much fertilizer just to do this last little bit. yeah, this is why I just love fertilizer contracts. This is just easy money, isn't it? You can't really get much better than this for earning some money. Yeah, it's probably cost us a little bit. If we bought the fertilizer full price, I suppose it would have been a bit more, but yeah, nowhere near as much as what we're going to make anyway. Now, contract, oh, it is actually finished. We'll go as far as we need to go. Just try and make out we did a half decent job anyway. Good. Obviously, we're not going to accept that until we drive to the pub. But kind of on the way to the pub actually is the next field, so it's worked out quite well. Right, we're nearly here. Now this this transition thing that I mentioned in the last episode, you would have just seen exactly what I mean then. Where what I'm doing essentially is I normally like to fade in. That's kind of how I like to do it. Whereas at the minute, you notice it's just jumping from one scene straight to another scene. A little bit like Daggerwin, that's where I made the comparison. And I don't know, I don't overly like it, but it does make it a heck of a lot easier. A heck of a lot easier for me to kind of get the content. I can almost release this raw now. I can almost do it without a single bit of editing. It is better. So what I'm looking at, trying to come up with something that's the best of both worlds. I have done a bit of searching. It does look like I can set the recording software, which is OBS. That's the software that I use. You can set it. Let's try and do this without wasting too much. Yeah, you can set it to kind of introduce a bit of a fade whenever you pause. So it's something around macros and things, and it looks like something I'm going to have to download lots of plugins and extras and actually set it up. But if I can do it, basically every time I press pause for the recording, it will sort of fade ever so slightly. It will fade into a black screen, and then it will go from the black screen into the kind of video footage again. And I just feel maybe that's a good compromise. That'll feel a little bit more crisp for me. But in the meantime, if it does bother you, I do apologise. But just for the next few episodes at the least anyway, it's going to do that kind of annoying, that unfinished jumping between scenes. Yeah, even I'm struggling to live with that, to be honest, but the time benefit is worth it. Right, now I was also concerned about whether I'd have enough to do this, and I still do have that concern, but fingers crossed we might. Oh, did that finish? 98%. Come on. Right, I should have bought one more bag, shouldn't I? Oh dear. It is the way it is. If I was extra careful and I didn't waste bits, then I might have got away with that. But I mean, in real life, you wouldn't know exactly what you've done and what you haven't done, have you? I think it's realistic to waste a little bit for no reason. So it's fine. At least the shop's only up there somewhere. Alright, let's just chuck this bag in. Just the one bag will do it, surely. Oh, and it's doing that. Do you know, sometimes it does a weird thing when you pick something up and then try to get in your tractor, it doesn't let you in. You've got to walk away a little bit and then come back to it. There we go. Don't know why it does that. Right, there we go. 100 litres. That's going to do it. That's going to finish it off. I do need to figure out what I do with the leftovers of the lubricating grease as well, actually, because I've got quite a few things now that are getting a bit low. And from what I can gather, the efficiency drops and the damage increases when that lubricating grease isn't full. Well, to some extent anyway. Anyway, right, shouldn't take too long. It's good, cut across there. So I would have thought, I mean, one of these contracts was 7,000, wasn't it? I think one of them was paying a lot, and the other one was not a great deal, but I don't know, 1,800 was it from memory? That should round us up almost to buying that field. We may have to do a tiny little bit of additional selling. I wasn't expecting to buy the seeder or the sprayer, to be honest, but they were too good to miss out on. But we are going to be scraping it. We're going to be cutting it close. I was hoping to kind of end this episode with a little bit of landscaping, but to be honest, with the way that it's gone, I don't think I'm gonna have any money left to do it. Why is this not working? Why does it do that? Right, try again. I must have a bit of a mod conflict or something here, because it quite often seems to disconnect the PTO shaft itself. Right, come on. Contract is finished. There we go. I'll just do the last bit. Just so we haven't done a bad job, we want them to employ us again, don't we? Alright, let's get off these fields. Let's get to the pub. Let's jump into this view. Someone commented in the last video about not being able to see out the windscreen. Just adds character, doesn't it? I don't know what this fascination with clean equipment is all the time. Right, come on. Can I? In fact, I can probably just... Let's not be lazy. Let's put up here. Yeah, we're not blocking any traffic, are we? You are right, though, by the way. It's filthy, isn't it? I need to clean it. It's disgusting. Fortunately, there's a zebra crossing here, so I haven't got to worry about getting run over. Let's cash in. Let's see what the damage is. How much do we actually need? Okay, we are going to be scraping it. I think we might have enough, though. So we'll collect that with no reductions because we've not borrowed anything. How amazing. And also another 1,960 more than I thought. We'll collect that too. Ideal. Now, look at all of these extra fertilizing contracts and weeding. We could even start doing some weeding contracts now using our own. Yeah, mind you, herbicide is expensive. Right, 24,241. Let's just see 76, 79 and 81. Are they in the same direction as the field we're about to buy? 76 is pretty large. 81 is pretty large. How's that compared to... Yeah, okay. So the thing with this, we need to think. I could not do this field with one load. So this one, there's no chance I can do this with one load. So if I was to do that to get a cheeky earner on the way down, actually there's going to be another trip all the way back to the store just to buy a bit more. That becomes a big job. 76 though, not so bad. I want to say 76 was one. My short-term memory has already kicked in and I forgot what numbers they were. 76 was one. Hey, that's paying 5.5 grand there nearly. And 79 was the other. If I can get away with doing them both in one, that makes sense, doesn't it? Where is 76? Oh no, 76, sorry. What number was it? Oh. Yeah. 79. There we go. Honestly, I think I've got problems. Oh, we fertilized that field before, actually, haven't we? No, we actually harvested that one, didn't we? Someone did say as well. I'm just curious to know. 25%. If you do work, is one of the kind of extra things with having the additional contracts mod on. If you do work in fields, it does affect your discount rate. So that would explain potentially why this one is a tiny bit cheaper. Because I think, have we done 2 contracts in this field before? Maybe that's why it's gone down so cheap. But we've done 1 contract in this one. It's 25% discount. Maybe that does affect it. I don't think I'm going to get that field and 76 done with 1 tank though. But I think while we are at the pub, why don't we take that contract, fill up with fertilizer, and then, yeah, get this one while we're down there. How much have we got? 22,478. We've only got about £1,900, I think, spare. How much is... What am I doing? Hey, let's check in here. See if there's any pallets appeared in the meantime. No, a pallet of canola, but not a pallet of fertilizer. No. Okay. Right, let's have a look. A big bag of fertilizer is... Wow. That is cutting it close, isn't it? If we were to buy that... Yeah, that would probably be enough to do the field, but it might leave us a tiny bit short. We could just buy a load of 50-litre bags. What are these ones here? Exactly the same. Anything else in this section? Oh, there is fertilizer, £50 for 50 litres. So somehow I've got two versions here now. I don't know how that happened. Right, I could spend 500 quid. Yeah, and fill it up. Right, so we need to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I think 9 would do it. If I counted that properly. Right, let's run across the road while they're waiting. Yeah, let's go to the shop. Let's fill up as much as we can. It'll almost be full. We might have a little bit left at the shop, but that's fine. Then we'll drive down to the field that we want to buy, and we'll buy that. I don't want the discount to change. So we'll go down there, then we'll buy it. And then while we're down there, we'll do that cheeky little fertilizer contract, which should give us, top us back up to about 5 grand. And then, oh dear, that wasn't good. God, I'm glad I didn't roll it then. That would have ruined our plans completely, wouldn't it? Yeah, we'll do that cheeky one. That'll top us back up to over £5,000. And I just did it again, didn't I? I just bought something without going into the shop. I'm breaking my own rules. That's fine. I think then I can end this episode with some landscaping as well, you know. Because there was a little bit I want to do around the main farmyard. But it's been bothering me a little bit. At the minute, it's not looking very realistic, is it? Right, so lower this down. Reverse back up a little bit. The brakes are awful. I nearly scat the old pile over. And, yeah, that's a funny word, isn't it? Scat. So apparently, scat to me is, I don't know, used in Cornwall, I don't know, used in Britain maybe. It's just a funny word for saying you've knocked something over. But I believe it means something else in different areas. I want to say Bendercat over in Australia says that has a slightly different meaning. Anyway, right. Good. Just about get... Oh dear. Didn't mean to throw it. The majority of this bag, but maybe not all of it. I thought there would be 8 litres left. We'll just chuck it in on top. It's alright. God, I'm quite excited. Excited to buy a new bit of field. It's funny, isn't it? I think I said it last episode. We did so much of this series, 2/3 of it maybe, with just the first piece of land and, well, a potato field on the worst possible hillside I could have done it on, and one other field full of trees which we turned into grass. And now, probably in the last 10 episodes, we've suddenly gone up to 5 plots of land. So progression is definitely getting faster, but it's not too fast. I don't think it's too fast. I hope you don't think it's too fast. I never wanted fast progression, not in this series. That was not my aim. Definitely need a tractor that's faster. Yeah, this is taking a while. But it's fine, we get in there. Now on our right hand side here is the field, which we're going to be buying. No, not quite that right though. Yeah, this one. This is the field that we're going to buy. In fact, is that already growing something? I didn't even look at that. Okay, what's it got? It's got wheat growing in it as well. Wow. Even better. Even better. This is the field, right? Yeah. Amazing. So we're going to buy it. It's got the bonus of already having a crop in it, which I did not realise. And we'll have a quick look now. I mean, I'll have to buy the data for it. That's a good start, isn't it? Its environmental score is 27. That's not very good at all. I probably need to buy that, don't I? wrong button. I wonder if it will let me. It will let me buy this. Last episode, it wouldn't even let me buy that. It's quite annoying. Cool. Right, we'll worry about that at some point when maybe we got a little bit more money. But as it stands, we are cutting it relatively close, aren't we? Okay. Well, let's just get this contract done whilst we're here. This is good. So we've bought another field, field number 5, and we're probably still going to have 6 grand, maybe, at the end of this episode. Amazing. That's really, really good. We'll take a little detour in here. We'll do a little trial run drive around in this view. And I can see in the distance there, it does look like we've got some olives too, which is great. So yeah, when it comes to, wow, the potato harvesting, in fact the potato planter is going to really struggle with all of these stumps in the ground. We are going to have to kind of think about how we're going to get around that. And yeah, 1 pallet of olives. Amazing. It's 1,000, I guess, yeah? 1,000. Cool. I like it. Oh no, even better. I mean, oh no? Why did I say oh no? Oh wow, it's probably the right thing to say. 2 pallets of each. What? Why are these producing pallets so fast? Wow, there is actually a lot of money here, you know. Already. What am I doing? Grapes. I know I pretty much do this every episode, but as you've probably figured out in this episode, if you haven't before, my memory is awful. Now, actually, they're only just under £100 less than what they should be. We're going to be selling them next episode or even the episode after. And as it stands, wow. I mean, at this rate, there's going to be like £6,000 or £7,000 worth of product here by the beginning of April. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Do we even need to worry about putting manure in these? Because they're producing fast. So we'll keep them going. That's fine. That needs manure. These ones, you have to fill it with seeds as well. I mean, you could even we could double it up. We literally could double it up. Okay. This could be absolutely insane, you know, if we really went for it. At this rate, it won't be long before we buy the main farm, I don't think. Anyway, right, that's not why we're here. Yeah, these stumps are going to be a bit of a pain, aren't they? Hopefully this will go over it. Oh, no. Really? It can't even get over it. We're going to have to get rid of these stumps. They're going to be a problem. Right. Can we at least go around it? Yeah. And is it this field literally right next to us which we're fertilizing? I think it is. Let's jump out into this view. It will soon tell us when I try and fertilize if it's going to work. And has it done it again? Dear. Right, let's go. I don't have access to this land. Alright, maybe it wasn't that field then. It is that field. There we go. Maybe if I actually accepted the contract, that would help, wouldn't it? That would have been good. So I just I did that off screen. I mean, we were really at the pub to do it, so it's not like I'm cheating. I'm not breaking my own rule there. I'm just stupid, I guess. Just stupidity. Cool. I like that. Nice. That's one of the only planted fields in this entire area. And we've managed to buy that so cheap. So cheap. I have no control over the pricing. That's not really on me. I don't know how that works. So just the fact that we've had such a good discount is it's just coincidental, I guess, but hey, I'm not going to complain. Now this one here actually seems to be using less fertilizer than the last one. 26%, and I've used less than 26% of the fertilizer to do it, so that's good. So we might even have a tiny little bit left over. Maybe. As long as we don't run out, that's the main thing. And again, I don't think I'm going to time-lapse this, you know, because it isn't going to take very long at all. And it kind of works with my even less editing. The even less editing means even more content. If I can do an episode without editing at all, I can spend 45 minutes just playing and recording, then uploading, then yeah, creating a thumbnail. Do you know, I'm probably knocking off about 1 hour's worth of the creation to get more content out, and that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I think in the last episode I said it almost becomes a bit of a chore, and I didn't mean it in the sense that I don't like doing it, because I do love doing it. I love doing this so much. It's enjoyable and talking to people, even though I am pretty slack at replying. Yeah, I will hold my hands up to that. But what I mean by finding it a bit of a chore, it's when the weather's really nice, you know, you pick the kids up from school, you've just been at work for your full 9-10 hour day, you get home, they want to do something, they want to go to the park or for a run on the beach or something. Then by the time you get home, fed them, washed them up, got them in bed, it's at that point when you're just sat down absolutely knackered and you think, do you know, I really need to get on and play some farm sim and do some recording. That's when it kind of feels like I used to do it because I really loved it, but at that point it's almost like I need to do it because I need to do it, and I guess it just changes the way you play the game, really. So that's what I meant by it's almost felt like a bit of a chore. It's certainly not that I don't enjoy doing this. If I could just do this and not work, I mean, wouldn't that be lovely? But it's only a hobby, that's not why I'm in it. Oh, and it's finished as well, and I'm doing a poor job, but actually that's fine, because if I plan this correctly, once I've bought the field data, which I might even be able to buy now, I might be able to use the rest of this to do the next field. Now I know I was a bit short here, so let's get this little bit while we're here. Good. Back onto the main road. And yeah, let's put some on here. I'm just going to do it before I buy the field data, a bit like I did before, because we already know this is somewhere around 21%, which is awful. I'm pretty confident this hasn't been fertilized. Now, slight change of plan. There's a good advantage that it's been planted for us already. Amazing, happy with that. Downside is it's grown so much that I'm actually damaging it. So is the damage worth, wow, is the damage worth the benefit of fertilizing? I don't know. Let's just see how bad this field is looking, because we're pretty much there now, I reckon, aren't we? What are we on? 45 minutes by my calculations. So let's just see how bad this field is. Purchase that soil information. Right. 1,400. Have we even got £1,400? Oh, we haven't. Man. Right, let's just buy this instead then. Purchase that soil information. £350. Good. 57. So that's, yeah, that's not changed. What were these? 57. That's not a field. This is 51. So overall, our environmental score is going to be relatively good once we've sorted this one out. Okay. Do I drive over and ruin part of our field? I don't know. This is a dilemma I've not really had, because we haven't actually got into any form of kind of grain or arable crop yet. So, yeah, it's a nice dilemma. Let's head on back to the pub quick. I'm sure they're still there. Just accept our contract. We'll get back to the yard. I think we're pretty much there for an episode. And it's been a pretty good episode, I think. Right, anyway. Let's go. We are almost here. Building up a bit of a traffic jam behind us. Alright, let's just pull into there. Shut the engine off quick. And make a little bit of money. Go to the right tab, that would be good. Right, fertilizing complete. Yeah, look, 5,458. Boom. Happy with that. I do love it when there's lots of fertilizing contracts. Gives you a little bit of a boost to get you through the rest of the year, I guess. Right, I think we're pretty much done, to be honest, and I can just end it here, really. I don't think that's a problem. I'm just going to check with the used shop, see if anything's appeared while I'm in the zone. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? That is interesting. I think we're quite some way away from having the money to do it, but... Is that an actual truck? Is in like an articulated truck? Or what on earth is that on the floor, by the way? What's underneath it? I know it's used, but it's falling apart. Okay. So this must be one where you have to buy the additional beds to go with it, yeah? Yeah, I reckon so. Well, that's interesting. That should still be there next episode. It will need to be. If we're going to consider that, we need to earn a lot more money anyway. But that ain't bad, is it? That is not bad at all. I don't think our car is actually worth a great deal of money, is it? Where is our car? £3,000 though. We can get just over that if we take it back to the store. Okay, so we probably got about 10 grand at this particular moment in time. Amazing. Cool. Right, anyway, I think it's been a pretty good episode, don't you? Not too bad at all. So another one of those kind of raw ones, very, very minimal editing for me. And you will obviously see the transitions are non-existent. The things I normally like to do are non-existent, but I'll continue to put the extra time into roleplay story mode and make sure that's looking crispy. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Episode 49 this was. Next episode, hopefully, I can find a way of earning enough money to sell that car and maybe go for some form of truck, some form of like a flatbed truck or something that we could even adapt and use for different things in the future. That does sound pretty cool, actually. Seeing that one in the used shop does make me reconsider maybe what to go for. Anyway, thank you for watching, and until that next episode, cheers and gone.